Did you know that your willpower actually runs out, just like the battery on your phone? Studies once showed that people who had to resist eating cookies gave up faster on puzzles right afterward. It's as if resisting one temptation drained their ability to focus on the next task. So here's the question. If willpower is limited, how do some people seem unstoppable? The truth is, willpower isn't just about discipline. It's a resource that can be managed, protected, and even trained. The difference between burning out and breaking through often comes down to how you structure your environment and habits, not raw self-control. Let's rewind to one of the most famous psychology experiments, the marshmallow test. In the 1960s, researchers offered children one marshmallow gnaw, two if they could wait. Decades later, the kids who held out tended to have better life outcomes. The conclusion: self-control predicts success. But here's where it gets interesting. More recent research found that it wasn't just raw willpower at play. The kids who succeeded often distracted themselves, covering their eyes, singing songs, or turning away from the marshmallow. In other words, they didn't simply tough it out. They changed their environment to make resisting easier. This connects with the idea of ego depletion, the theory that willpower gets drained like a muscle. For years, experiments seemed to prove it. But newer studies challenge the idea. Instead, what really matters may be our beliefs about willpower itself. If you think your self-control is easily exhausted, you behave as if it is. If you believe you can push through, you often can. And here's the kicker. Habits are your brain's way of outsourcing willpower. Every time you build a routine, like brushing your teeth or hitting the gym at the same time, you no longer rely on fragile willpower. You rely on automatic scripts that run without effort. So the science points to this. Success is less about having an endless reservoir of willpower and more about designing systems that reduce the need for it. So how can you start protecting and strengthening your willpower today? Here are 3 powerful strategies. First, shrink the choice overload. Too many options drain your decision-making energy. Simplify your meals, outfits, or daily routines so your brain can focus on the big stuff. Second, build friction against bad habits. If social media distracts you, delete the apps or log out after every session. Make the easy choice, the one you actually want to reinforce. And third, stack microhabits. Attach a small new action to something you already do. For example, after brushing your teeth, do 10 push-ups. These tiny links build automatic momentum. The less you spend on unnecessary decisions, the more willpower you'll have for what truly matters. So the next time you feel like you've run out of willpower, remember, it's not about superhuman discipline. It's about smart systems and small wins. Protect your willpower like a precious battery and watch how far it takes you. And in the next video, we'll explore a psychological trick that can make boring tasks instantly more engaging. Subscribe so you don't miss it.